not sure if I ever used the camera on this thing. Um, but anyway, I want to talk a little bit more. I went to see Deadpool this morning when I got off of work, and I did like a little sort of review that I posted on social media, but I want to give a more in-depth review. Um, Now, I want to say this is a spoiler. I repeat, spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen the movie, um, I'm going to talk about some things that happened. First of all, um, Ryan Reynolds made fun of the whole multiverse thing, and I think it is a cool idea, but I think it's been abused to the point where it's become like a joke. I really, I don't know. I mean, there's some good things that they can do with it, but I think that they need to kind of cut back on the usage of it because time travel is in going to alternate dimensions. It can become too much of a plot armor, I guess. I mean, it was interesting when they did it in the Spider-Man, where they had all the three Spider-Man teaming up. Then when they did the Miles Morales animated movies where he met the other different Spider-Man. That was cool. And then you had Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and What If is a pretty cool concept, but it gets almost to the point where something happens, then you can just go back in time and change it, or go into another dimension and get another person from parallel universe. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think that we see that a little bit too much, and they kind of maybe need to dial it back with that. So basically, in this movie, from what I understand, um, basically Ryan Reynolds was trying to save his world from being destroyed, and now this is something that I heard with Superman when they did that Doctor Manhattan crossover years ago. When I think it was Doctor Manhattan tried to erase Superman from reality. So you have this one character who's just like such a pivotal point of the universe that they exist in. If they're removed, if they die, the whole universe dies afterwards. So whenever Doctor Manhattan, I guess whenever Superman was removed from that world that he was in and just destroyed, then the whole universe would pretty much collapse afterwards. Something would happen. So Logan Wolverine is like that person in all the other universes. Wolverine is pivotal. So when Wolverine, I guess when he was killed, it led to destruction of his world. So sometimes the dimensional multiversal stuff can be a little confusing. You're just trying to keep up with it, and then breaking the third, what I guess the fourth wall when Deadpool would talk to the audience. So keep in mind, it was 9 in the morning. I just got off of work, and I wasn't really sleepy. I was a little annoyed because I had to sit like in the second row, which was really close. Wasn't that much of a problem. But I know when I went to see a movie, like was it? Oh God, it was a movie I saw. I feel like it was Van Helsing, but it was like so much stuff going on in front, and like I think I had a headache because you're like looking up. So I think I literally sat in the first row when I went to see Van Helsing. So I went this morning at 9 o'clock thinking, well, there's not gonna be a lot of people there in the theater. Man, that theater was packed. Like the only seats that were available was in the first like three rows, which were really close, and someone was sitting in my seat. So I was like, these people. So it cost $18 to go see the movie, and $16 I think it was to take a Uber over there, and then it was like another $16 for a hot dog and a soda. So I'm like, man, I am just gonna stay my ass home from now when I watch movies. So anyway, uh, I watched season one of Loki. I haven't watched the second season. I think I may have watched one or two episodes of the second season. But there's an organization that just kind of polices what happens in all the different multiverses. and Loki deals with those in the series with that company. So Deadpool wanted, well, he was basically plucked from his timeline and offered a job. Um, so Deadpool wanted to try to save his world from not existing, which it was because Logan was dead. So he went and got another Logan to bring into his world. They were like, "You can't do that." So he went and got a Logan who I'm still trying to like piece together everything. I guess supposedly the Logan that Deadpool brought to try to replace the Logan in his world that died. Um, it was he. This Logan got drunk or something, and because of that, it led to like the X Men getting killed, and pretty much the mutants. Logan went crazy, and he did some crazy things that turned humanity against all mutants, and that led to like a bunch of terrible things happening. So it was kind of like a redemption arc for this Logan that Deadpool teamed up with. It was really funny that they kept fighting each other because they didn't get along with each other. Because Deadpool, and there was some surprise cameos. Um, it turns out that there's like a, and I think they talked about this in Loki, if I'm not mistaken. It's a place where they put people, beings that just kind of like are trash in their universe or just kind of forgotten and don't really, um, they're just kind of like discarded, which is kind of interesting. So you had Elektra, Gambit, played by Tatum Channing, which was real cool, and then Blade, um, and X-23, and I feel like there was somebody else I'm forgetting. Oh, there was Johnny Storm also. I forgot about that. Johnny Storm was there, which was a surprise because when he came out, everybody was thinking. Well, I was thinking that it was going to be like Captain America, but it was funny seeing Chris Evans playing Johnny Storm, and you had Pyro from the X Men, the first X Men trilogy, and he was working for the basically the overlord of that garbage dimension where all the people get dumped, the useless, discarded people get dumped. So the overlord is Cassandra Nova. She was the sister of Professor Xavier, and she is, I guess, she's an omega level telepath and telekinetic. I mean, but her telepathy works primarily on contact, so she gets to actually touch you, and then she can go inside your head and do all the psychic stuff. So I guess that's the differentiating thing with her and her brother's powers. So they needed Deadpool and his gang that he ended up recruiting needed to get Juggernaut's helmet, which would be like the only thing to protect him from the telepathic attack of Cassandra Nova, and basically force her to open a portal so that Deadpool could go back to his world with the Wolverine, and then I guess stop everything from not existing. Like I said, the time travel, the alternate universe stuff is it's a lot. I'm just so glad that I understand nerd talk so well. Um, so anyway, I want to just do. I guess I'm gonna do this video in different parts because I gotta get ready to go to work pretty soon. It's like 9:47, so I'm gonna start my shift in a few minutes. But I want to come back and talk more about the film. So I was actually expecting to see Halle Berry in the movie, but she wasn't there. There was some other cameos I was expecting. There was a quick Hulk cameo, and there are definitely some after credit scenes. Nothing really important, I don't think. But I mean, if you like those types of things, sit around and wait for the credits to roll. Some nice tributes, kind of videos that came at the end credits, is really kind of take you back to when the X-Men, how it all started. It's a really interesting little tribute. So I'm gonna stop this video for now, and now this will be like part one of my spoiler re Deadpool video. and so far it's like 10 minutes.